What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today, our show topic is creation of your life instead of destruction. What if you did creation of your life instead of destruction? How would your money situation change? How would your health would change? How would your relationship change? Let's play with the creation instead of destruction of your life. And what's interesting, destruction sounds like distraction, and a lot of people, especially with me having an accent, a lot of people actually misread the word. They say, "What did you say?" And a lot of times we talk about distraction in our lives, and how much of those distractions actually destroy our lives. So that's where I would like to talk about how much we distract ourselves and not present in our life. And by virtue of not being present, we actually start destroying our bodies, our money, our relationship. Think of the moment. A lot of people, actually before we think about the moment, but a lot of people function from what I call an autopilot. We go to work, we come home. We go to work, we come home. We take care of the kids if we have kids, or we go to school if we are younger and come home, watch TV. Everything becomes a routine. A lot of times we don't even remember what our life is. What did we do yesterday? What did we eat yesterday? What did we wear yesterday? I remember going to sleep and kind of like, what did I wear today? I could not remember. So and I'd like to talk also about distraction of emotions. We call them distractor implants in access consciousness because those are programs that distract us from life but also destroy our lives. Let's think of anger. When people are angry, are they present? And how much anger starts destroying our life? So what if we start living our life instead of from anger, shame, blame, regret, guilt? What if we actually lived from joy, happiness, gratitude? That's my invitation for you. For people who are not familiar with access consciousness, it's a set of tools, I would say a toolbox, with different instruments that you can use in your life. One of them is a clearing statement. It's right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POT, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And you can read about that on the website theclearingstatement.com, where it explains when we are in polarity, meaning good, bad, right, wrong, we actually destroying our lives. We stop having choice in our lives. When we are living from right, wrong, good, bad, nothing is right or wrong. Nothing is good or bad. I went to a seminar on financial awareness. It was, I think he's a financial advisor who did that. Has nothing to do with access, has nothing to do with spirituality, but he was talking about he said, there is no right, wrong, good or bad. And I'm like, oh my God. People starting to realize that there is nothing right or wrong, nothing good or bad in financial world, in health, in relationship. It's all the points of view. And points of view are actually destroying our lives. So one of the ways of stop distraction or distraction is get out of our points of view and living from allowance. When we live from allowance, from no point of view or interesting point of view, our lives start changing and becomes much more ease, joy, and glory. So when we move away from the polarity and look at everything from, oh, everything is interesting point of view, no matter what it is, no matter how ugly we create or people create around us, no matter how many trauma and drama we experience or create, when we live out of allowance and gratitude, it changes our lives. And people say, but if I start living from allowance, people will walk over me. Is that actually true? That's where I'd like to introduce light and heavy. Everything, and I'm talking about everything, can be divided into what's true for you and what's a lie. Everything. And yes, maybe that's a polarity, but it's not a polarity, because whatever is true will be light. And whatever is a lie will be heavy. Lies are not real. It's totally what's true and what's lie is the same as light and darkness, or light and dark. As Einstein said, there is no darkness per se. There is no actual darkness. Darkness is just absence of light. Same with the truth. The truth is that light, that when we have what's true for us, we become light. Not just a light as a switch on the light or sunlight, and that's actually including the sunlight and light, but also feeling lightness in our bodies, lightness in our world. It expands our life. It changes our outlook, because nothing is black and white. Nothing. Or nothing is right or wrong. Nothing is good or bad. Everything is what we call judgment that creates that light or dark. And but what's true for you, and by the way, what's true for you might be a lie to another person. I'm talking about for you to know what's true for you. When we are living from distraction or destruction of our lives, what destroys us are the lies. Those points of view that's not true for us. They could be bought from other people. When we are growing up, our parents gave us points of view. This is right, this is wrong, you can do this, you cannot do this, and so on and so forth. Then, at 5, we go to school, 5 or 6, we go to school, and now we have more points of view. Oh, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. And you have to look for the answer. Anytime when a child asks, why? Or a child asks, what's that? What did you hear when you were children? Just, like, at least a lot of times I would just because. Just because I said so. Just because it is so. But is that actually true? Not necessarily. Those were, again, judgments of our parents, judgments of our teachers, judgments of media, judgments of school, judgments of governments. Those points of view, instead of creation of infinite possibilities for us, it created the distraction of the lies. And those lies start destroying our lives. Any time when you are living from a judgment or a lie, it will always destroy your life. It will never create. Because there is no foundation. Lies are inventions. They are not real. Lies are all those judgments when let's backtrack. You are an infinite being with infinite possibilities, every single one of you. And yet, a lot of us, including me years ago, thought that I didn't have a choice. I didn't have infinite possibilities. I had to stick with what I knew. I had to stay in a marriage which was not a contribution to my life. Well, in a way it was, because I've learned a lot, and I'm very grateful for that marriage. And yet, I was in pain. In order to get out of pain, I needed to know that there was a choice, that there were other possibilities. But because I grew up the way it was that you had to stay, there was a lie that you had to stay in the marriage and you have to work through in the relationships, I did not feel like I had a choice. Knowing what I know now, I was destroying my life by staying in the marriage probably longer than I should. And yet, I chose to start creating my life from different. And that's my invitation. I'm not talking about divorcing. No, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about choosing for you what's true for you, what feels light, instead of staying in the heaviness. So we are actually coming to a break, our commercial break. And after the break, you're listening to Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And when we return, we'll be talking more about using the tools of access, how we can start creating your life from joy and ease. And you're listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform, streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is creation of your life instead of distraction. So before we went on a break, we were talking about how lies that we either created or bought from others destroy our lives, how judgment destroy our lives. So one of the tools of access consciousness I'd like to talk about, who does it belong to? And it's, as I said before the break, a lot of those lies, the heaviness, is part of us buying things from other people. So what if nothing is yours? None of those lies is yours. Look at any judgment you have of your body right now. Just get that energy and ask, who does that belong to? Did it light up? Did it change? Did it disappear? Because a lot of that will disappear with just asking that simple question. By the way, there is an amazing free app that Access Consciousness did. It's called, same name as the tool, Access Consciousness, who does that belong to? And you can download it for free, use it for free, and that pretty much reminds you to ask that question. Who does that belong to? Because a lot of things that's going on with you in your life right now, where you, especially in the places where you destroy it, that's where you, like the judgments, the lies, create. By the way, any point of view that you have creates something in your life. Any fixed point of view you have creates something in your life. It could be ease, joy, and glory. It could be fun. It could be ease, especially if it's true for you. But if that point of view, if that judgment, and judgment's always a lie, those usually destroy. Because nothing that does not match a lie, doesn't match a point of view that you have, can come into your life. So if you have a judgment of somebody, let's say you think of them as an amazing person. By the way, judgment can be positive or negative. And sometimes we think that positive can be awareness or it's true, and negative is always a judgment. Not necessarily. Positive can be a judgment just as well as negative. Same as negative can be an awareness and a truth just as much as a positive. So let's say we have a judgment of somebody, oh, she's such an amazing friend, she's an amazing woman, and when that person acts out of character, we will not see it. And by the way, we have a caller on the line. Hi, Adam.
Oh, hi, Helen. This is Adam Johnson.
How are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. And you have a question about how judgments destroy our life or something else?
Something else.
Cool.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I'm interested in learning more about the access body processes, and was wondering if you could talk about what those are and what they facilitate.
Absolutely. A lot of times what we do, we put those judgments, those lies, into our body. We lock it in on a cellular level. So what happens? The body starts changing according to our judgments. Let's say a person judges, oh, I'm fat. Guess what? It starts creating more fat. Person judges, oh, that hurts, so must be something wrong. So body starts creating the physical manifestation or whatever judgment we have. So Access Consciousness has amazing tools with hands-on healing. It's about 60 of different body processes right now in a 3-day body class, where simply by putting our hands on the body, we can unlock those judgments and those lies so the body can start changing and go back to the healthy and, I wouldn't say good, but ease and joy with the body starts occurring. It's a 3-day body class or individual body processes. That's kind of like creation from, like to create your life or create your body instead of destroying it. So those judgments that we put in always destroy our lives. Because our body desires to be beautiful, desires to have ease with everything. But we lock it in, and it's not just I'm fat or I'm beautiful or I'm ugly. We also judge what we eat. We judge what we do, that we age. Because aging is another judgment and another lie. There are people in Access who stop aging, and some of them reversed aging. I remember with facelift, it's one of the body processes, by the way. And facelift, I just facilitated a facelift class yesterday, and how much it unlocked in people. And by the way, not only on physical level, but also on emotional level. As I said, we put our judgments into our body, locking it in, so we don't have even access to it. We even don't know that we have those judgments because they're so deep on the subconscious and unconscious level. It's just sitting in the self, and then we're like, I have no idea why I'm doing this. I have no idea why I'm reacting this. You see a person, let's say you have a relationship, and somewhere you have a judgment about the way that person look because you had an ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, anybody that looked like them that you had an issue with that you locked in the body. I'm not kidding you. Because especially if you had intimate relationship with somebody, touch can have impact on the self. So you have that cellular memory in your body that of that ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, whatever it is, and you had an argument, and that argument contracted your body, because every time when we have an argument, it contracts us. So that contraction is sitting now on a cellular memory. So you might have a relationship with the same person. It doesn't have to be a different person. Your cells remember that argument or abuse, verbal, emotional, doesn't matter. And it cringes, it contracts. So you react in a certain way, the same way you reacted before. You don't even know why. So when we're doing body processes, we start unlocking all those memories, all those points of view, all those judgments that we stick our body with. So in the future or in the present, you can choose from something different, that you don't react to the people, to whatever it is. And as I said, with facelift, I remember when I was just learning Access, I was supposed to do 20 facelifts, perform 20 facelifts, and I did it as an exchange at that time with a friend of mine, with my mom. And I think by that time I did, like, within 6 months, I did about 15 of them. I saw a woman that I haven't seen in 6 months. She looked at me like she saw a ghost. She's like, "Helen, what did you do with your face?" And I'm like, without thinking, I'm like, "Oh, I did a facelift." In her mind, she had no question that I had surgery. And it's like, "Oh, I don't see the scars." And I started laughing hysterically. I'm like, "Oh, not that facelift." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I was doing an energetic facelift." And I tried to explain to her, and she's like, "Okay." But I could see she didn't believe me because the changes were so drastic. And I kept doing it periodically to keep up with just avoiding the wrinkles. Not avoiding them, but unlocking, because every wrinkle on your face is a result of some upset or something that you locked in from before. And I'm so grateful, Adam, for your question, but we have to go on a break soon, a couple of minutes. So does it make a little bit clear what the body processes do? Or and we can talk after the break, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was great, and that would be great if we can talk more after the break.
Sounds good. Thank you. And so it's time for our second break, and when we return, we'll discuss more of body processes and what classes comes up. And you are listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is creation of your life instead of destruction. So before we went to the break, we were discussing with Adam body processes that can unlock all those judgments and all those points of view we have about the body where we are destroying our body instead of creating it. So, hi, Adam. You're back? You still here?
Yes, and yes, I'm still here.
Yes. So,
yeah, I was wondering if I'm interested in experiencing the access body processes. How can I do that? And do you have any classes that are coming up?
Yeah, I have a few classes actually coming up. One of them is going to be in Austin. It starts on the 14th, on the Valentine's Day. Isn't it amazing to, instead of kind of like being upset or doing something that you don't like, on Valentine's Day you give yourself a gift of changing your life and unlocking all those judgments about your body and start creating your body. So we're starting on the 14th, and it's 3 days, 14, 15, and 16. It's a little bit outside of Austin, I think, but you can see that on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com, clicking on the Access Consciousness, and it will take you to the page where all of the classes are scheduled. The only thing with 3-day body class, you do need some prerequisites. You will need to have bars class and Access Foundation, where it's actually very convenient that this coming weekend, starting on 7, we have a global foundation done by amazing founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, and co-founder of Access Consciousness, Dr. Dane Hare. And it's a 4-day class that you can do online or live during those 4 days. And that's one of the prerequisites to take the body class. And during the foundation, you will also learn some body processes. With that, you start learning more tools of Access Consciousness, where it starts creating more. And as part of being a global foundation team, I'm also hosting a pop in Chicago area for people who are interested. They can join me in Buffalo Grove, watching online Global Foundation as well, being facilitated by Gary as well as myself. Being a certified facilitator, I'm allowed to facilitate you guys right here during the Global Foundation. So hopefully I'll see you in one of those classes. And also I'll have classes in Rome in February 21st through 23rd of February, as well as in Israel 12th through 15th or 14th. Wow, that's interesting. Time does not exist, by the way. Time is a construct, as even Einstein said. Time is relative. It depends how fast you are going. Actually, that's another way of creating your life. Thank you, Adam. Any other questions you have? Oh, I guess, Adam.
Oh, yes.
Hi.
Also, my wife Linda has a question. Is that all right if
Sure.
she asks a question too?
Hey, Helen. This is Linda.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi. I'm really enjoying your show. And one question that's come up that I've been aware of, and maybe you can explain a little bit more, is something that I was aware of like many years ago that Gary Douglas kind of had talked about, is if people are projecting judgments about your body, and then you're so aware and you're picking them up and then you're taking them on as yours. Could you please talk more about that and how that may influence your choices about your body and that sort of thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And that actually comes under the category of who does it belong to, which we started in the first part. Because we are psychic. Yeah, we are psychics. Because not only do we pick up judgments of people that they say, but also judgments that they don't say, that they think. Not only the judgment that they think about your body and project it on you, but also the judgment that they have about their body. And it's funny because all of us are telepathic energetically. We might not hear the words, but we definitely get the energy and translate it the way our body translates it. So if somebody, let's say you're at a restaurant and you're sitting at your table enjoying your food, and there is somebody that judges their body as either too big, too fat, too ugly, whatever it is, what do they say in their mind? The way, oh my God, I'm so fat, or I'm so ugly. You hear in your mind, I am so fat, I'm so ugly, and guess what? You don't know it's somebody else's judgments. You take it in as yours. Oh my God, I'm fat, I'm ugly. And it doesn't matter if you're size 0 or you're size 26. You still pick up that judgment, look at your body, and start creating it this way, basically destroying your body. I don't know if you...
And it's like, I'm sorry, Helen, and it's kind of like we're kind of like, you know, we're picking up everyone's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, etc. And it's like, without this "who does this belong to" tool, we're buying all of this as ours. And how many of us are so aware, Helen? Like it just seems like it's seamless. Like, oh, I'm like you're saying, like you're at a restaurant, you're anywhere. You know, you're walking down the street, New York City, all these people, right? Anywhere in Chicago. And you perceive this and you're feeling good when you wake up in the morning. Oh, I feel great. And then you go outside and you're like, oh, I'm fat. I'm this and that. So I just so love how you're explaining the tool, the access tool of who does this belong to, and really getting clear if energy changes or you're going into this like heaviness, it's like not yours. But it's so prevalent because there's so much judgment out there.
Correct. Yeah. So when you start using those tools, it gives you more awareness and clarity with those points of view. It also, the more you ask who does it belong to, you start noticing the difference between your energy and somebody else's energy, your thoughts and somebody else's thoughts, your feelings and somebody else's feelings, and so on and so forth. That app that we talked about, it allows us to remember to use the tools. Otherwise, as I started talking, remember the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? It's an old movie. It was amazing. And I never forget the scene where I forgot the name of the character. She is standing in front of the mirror. And after kind of like having a hangover, seeing her ex at the wedding and her being alone there, she started judging her body. And the more he judges, the more it turns into her judgments in the mirror. She just, I believe, ugly, fat, old, and her body starts changing in the same way. But what happens in certain moment, and that's where we destroy our lives, when we're judging. And then suddenly she looks in the mirror and changes her mind. She chooses something different. She totally switches. She takes a red marker and starts writing on her body, "I love you." From that moment, her body started changing pretty much back into the beautiful woman she was before the judgment. And that's my invitation to everybody who is listening now live or will be listening in the future, is invitation. Instead of creating your life from destruction of judgment, start creating it from love, from gratitude for your body, for your life, for everybody around you. And by the way, it doesn't matter if people are jerks. If people are wonderful, you still can be grateful. You still can be in that space of love and expansion. And we talked about body processes. Those body processes are actually, to me, is expression of love and gratitude. When we turn on those energies in the body, when we start unlocking all those emotions, all those judgments that we put on, not only ours, and Linda, as you said, all the projections that we had, all the projection of other people that they have on their bodies. So when we start unlocking, we start creating a communion with the body, where we actually can hear what the body requires. This way we can totally ask, body, what would you like to eat? Body, what would you like to wear? Body, who would you like to sleep with? And we are close to the break again. So you're listening to Helen Gitlevich of the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we can continue the conversation about starting to create our lives and starting to create our bodies instead of destroying them. And we will be right back.
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is creation of your life instead of destruction. So before we went to the break, we were talking with Linda that when we start unlocking the judgment, we start creating a communion with our body, and it allows us to become more aware of what our body requires. So grateful for both of you, Linda and Adam, for your questions. And as I said, we will be having body class in Austin. We'll be having class in Rome. We'll be having class in Israel and foundation in Madison, Wisconsin, which is close to my hometown, Chicago. And also, I'd like to remind people that Creating Abundance with Ease show is weekly live on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, and 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Next week's show will be Life or Death, and we'll be talking about, again, how to create your body instead of destroying it. It will be looking at which one are you creating in your life and in your body. So, again, with everything that we talked about, the idea is to get out of judgment. The more judgment we can unlock, the more we can be in communion with our life, with our finances, with our bodies, and in our relationship. As I said before, if you have a judgment of someone or something, nothing that does not match this judgment can come into your life. It's as simple as it gets. So if you're judging you don't have money, guess what? Even if you have money, you cannot sense it. You still will feel like you don't have money. What if you let it go? What if you let go of all your judgments? And by the way, as I said, 99% of your judgments are not even yours. So what if you actually ask, who does it belong to for every judgment you have right now? About your money, about your body, about everything that you think is true but feels heavy? Because, as I said, heavy is a lie. Truth is always light. Because truth doesn't have a substance. It's just true. There is no artificial intensity. There is no invention. It's just what is. Awareness is light. That's how you can judge if it's a judgment or an awareness. Judgment will always be heavy and awareness is light. Though sometimes we solidify our awareness into a judgment. How often did you do that? I know I have done it a lot. Like you're aware about somebody that they're acting maybe like a bitch or a jerk. And you solidify that, so now it's a judgment. So nothing that doesn't match that she is a bitch or he is a jerk can come into your universe. People different. One day they can be a bitch or a jerk, the other day they can be wonderful, and the next day again they can be a bitch or a jerk. But if we solidify that, we cannot see they're nice or they're helpful or their contribution. Same thing if we judge them wonderful or amazing or my best friend, you cannot see when they're a bitch or a jerk to you. And again, a lot of times we pick up other people's judgment and projections, so they might be projecting on us that, oh, she's a bitch today. And we hear that in our minds, so we pick it up. It's about being who we are with no judgments, including other people's judgments. So my invitation to you is asking that question, who does it belong to? Pretty much throughout the day for every thought, feeling, and emotion. And see if it starts creating your life in a different way. So it actually allows you to create beyond what you have right now. A lot of things that we create from judgment that, as I said, destroying us in the different ways throughout, like financial, relationship, body, we start creating from awareness. We can see where actual choice is. The tools of access a lot of times helps us to change our relationship, our money, our relationship, our body, our health, everything, based on just a simple idea that we get out of judgments and points of view and be in total allowance. I think we have a question on the line. We have a couple more minutes left.
Oh,
hello? Yes, hi,
Helen,
Linda.
can you hear me? Hi.
Yes.
I just, maybe after the break, because I know we don't have that much time, but there's a couple things. Number one, I'd like to talk about the wondrous process, the facelift energetic process and what it's in my life. And also, I'd like to talk more about gratitude and how what you've said, you can't have gratitude and judgment at the same time. So I would love to possibly talk more about that and how the body processes facilitate that. As you had said before, how you start dissipating all those thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything you've bought into that other people have projected onto you, and how many of us are this, you know what I mean, this radio antenna, and we're taking on all this. So I'd love that.
Yeah, Linda, we have 1 more minute left in the whole show. So maybe we can talk about next week about all of that.
Oh my God.
And we'll talk about this.
Oh my gosh, you're such a sweetheart. Yes, because we have the Valentine's 3-day body class in just outside of Austin in Dripping Springs. We'd love for everyone to consider that.
Yeah. We can continue that conversation actually on Facebook Live that we'll have at 1 o'clock
wonderful.
Central Time. And we'll see you soon. So you've been listening to Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease with today's topic, creation of your life instead of distraction. And next week, see you next week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic